Good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday morning, and here's what I'm taking with me to work this morning. Here's my 0-point coffee. It is the McDonald's K-Cup with 1 tablespoon of Dairy Star fat-free half and half for 0 smart points. Here is my Teamy Skinny tea in here. It is 1 teaspoon of the Teamy Skinny for 0 smart points, and some lemon juice, also 0 smart points. That goes in there. Over here is my Teamy Colon. Tonight is a Teamy Colon night, so I'm actually going to steep this throughout the day. I've got 2 tea bags in there. I'll probably put some hot water in when I go to work. That is also 0 smart points. So coffee and tea are 0 points. For lunch, I'm having butternut squash soup, and this is super easy. I just made this up quickly last night and this morning. So I heated a half of a butternut squash in the microwave for about 10 minutes until it was soft, and then I let it cool. I scooped out the insides. I added, butternut squash is 0 smart points. And then I added a 1/4 cup of this Heinz. I swear every morning some sort of jet or plane or something goes by. Anyway, so butternut squash is 0 smart points. I added a 1/4 cup of this Heinz fat-free roasted turkey gravy. A 1/4 cup is 0 smart points. I added an 1/8 cup of this almond milk, which is 0 smart points, and a teaspoon of everything but the bagel sesame seasoning, and a teaspoon of sage, and then I blended it up, and that was it. So I will heat this in the microwave at work for about 2 minutes. Everything in the butternut squash soup is 0 smart points. I'm going to eat that with 2 of these rye crisp crackers. 2 of the Fin Crisp rye crackers are 1 smart point, so lunch is 1 point. And then my snacks over here, I have some Hungry Girls scoopable apple pie. That's about a cup's worth for 0 smart points. And then also a pear. I generally don't eat my second snack, but I have yoga tonight. It's a long day, so I'm taking my 2 snacks just in case, but I haven't been eating this second one, but I'm paranoid not to have it. So my snacks are 0 if I have them both. So everything I'm having today from now until dinner is going to be just 1 smart point. Hey everyone, frog in my throat. Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday. Here is my outfit of the day. One of my favorite sweaters from Venus.com, of course. And if you saw my other photo, which I will hopefully put in before this, I got to wear my rose gold Minnie Mouse ears, Mickey Mouse ears to work today because it is Mickey's birthday week this week, and we are celebrating doing little events all week long at work. So today was wear your ears to work day. So I pulled out my favorite pair, my rose gold ears, and that completes my outfit for the day. However, I did not want to wear them at the park. So the park is blissfully mostly empty today, so hopefully no weirdos watching me today. I am actually not in the best of moods right now. I am trying to pull myself up by my bootstraps and move on. The reason for this is because I had 8 ounces, doesn't sound like a lot, I had 8 ounces of English toffee last night, which adds up to 61 smart points. Then I had my favorite Walker's shortbread. I had 4 Walker's shortbread cookies for another 13 points, which ended my day, my first day of the week, when all my points start over. It ended me at negative 39. The toffee was delicious, the shortbread was delicious, and today I'm beating myself up for it. So I've been talking a little bit with Gina of Gina Pearson on YouTube, and Gina told me accept it and move on. Just move on. Look at everything you've already accomplished. Look at your followers, the people that love you, your husband. Accept it and move on. So, and this is what I always tell people too. What are you gonna do when you're off track? You do the next right thing. The next right thing for me is moving on. Eating the lunch I've prepared, doing my yoga class and my run tonight, continuing to count my points and try to stay within my points, accepting and moving on, doing the next right thing. So I'm doing that. I'm forcing myself to get out of my funk, forgive myself, move on. The one thing I did not want to do though was stare at those negative 39 points for the rest of the entire week. That was really getting me down. That was getting me down. So what did I do? You know, I'm a firm believer in tracking, so I still tracked it. I still need to accept that I ate those points. I can't take it off my tracker. I can't not look at it because I look at it every day, all the time. When I update, it's big negative 39 staring me in the face. So here's what I did, you guys. I changed my weigh-in day from Tuesday to Wednesday. So all my nonsense toffee stuff is on Tuesday. And now my points reset today, Wednesday, and I don't have to stare at it for a full week. So I don't know that I would recommend that in general to people, because I don't think it's cheating the system, because I'm not removing or adding or being wacky with my points. I just didn't want to look at them. So I changed my tracker to be Wednesday weigh-in day, and then next Tuesday, when Tuesday comes, I will change it back to Tuesday weigh-in day. And that, at least for the full week, I don't have to stare at negative 39 for a full week. So that's what's working for me. It was just causing so much negativity for me right now that I felt like that was the best course of action. And now I am moving on. I'm going to continue with my week. I've already, you know me, I've been brainstorming ways to overcome, to pull myself beyond this, overcome and achieve what I've set out for myself to do. So all the way here I've been brainstorming. So I am again rethinking things. The last time I rethought my diet and kind of reworked it and got a little strict was, I think, a couple weeks ago. That's when number one, I cut out the beans, which I think was huge. Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. So I cut out the beans. I then tried to move from my grapefruit Bellini to red wine in the evenings to cut out some of the sugar. That was unsatisfying for me, and actually had more points, so I went back to the Bellini. I also tried to cut out the gummy vitamins. I put the gummy vitamins back in my diet because they're just so delicious at the end of the day, and I feel like they're probably doing more good than harm. The benefits outweigh the negatives, so I only take one gummy vitamin of each of 4, and the serving size is 2, so I'm still kind of keeping it to a minimum, but I did try to take those out, and I put those back in my diet for a specific reason. And then also back 2 weeks ago when I revamped everything, I also started writing everything down in a paper tracker, every little bite, and I'm still doing that. So cutting the beans out was huge. Writing everything down on a paper tracker was huge. Those two things are absolutely working for me. Some things that I'm sort of thinking about today, because I always want to, especially with this goal looming over me, I'm really striving so hard to get to this goal. I know I can do it, but I have to stay focused, and I really want to continue to fine-tune what I'm doing. So a couple of other ideas that I had this morning is, number one, I want to continue reducing my food volume, and I'm talking about mainly like 0-point foods, or foods that I feel like they're okay to eat, but I overeat them. And a prime example is the spaghetti squash from last night. I love spaghetti squash, and it's 0 points. So whenever I eat spaghetti squash, number one, I eat a bunch of it while I'm cooking it. So when I'm after it's cooked, and when I'm actually prepping my meal. So I eat some then, and then I also just serve myself a lot. Last time I had it, I measured out 1.5 cups because that was a reduction, and even that was a lot. Last night I measured out 1 cup, and with all of the other stuff that I added to it, it was still a lot. So I know I can reduce that even a little more. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about reducing food, like overall food volume. That is so I can reduce some of the 0 points foods that I'm eating. I also sometimes feel like I eat fruit just because it's 0 points and it sounds good. So I really want to be aware of what I'm eating and how much I'm eating, and just make sure that number 1, I'm hungry, and number 2, to try and reduce that little by little. Even, I guess another example is chicken breast. I can eat a lot of chicken breast. I always serve myself 5 ounces because the difference between 3 ounces and 5 ounces is only 1 smart point, and yet the satisfaction and the fullness is like 2-3 times as much. But I don't always need 5 ounces. So even though I can eat 5 ounces and not really do a lot of extra damage, it's still food volume and more food calories. And do I really need the extra 2 ounces? So that's another thing, that it's just an example of what I want to look at for kind of trying to reduce food volume. So another thing I want to do over the next couple weeks is to add, maybe not necessarily add in more protein, but focus on getting enough protein, but without excluding carbs, because in no way do I want to go on a low carb or a keto program at all. I love my carbs. I feel like a complete satisfying meal for me has both protein and carbs and maybe a little bit of vegetables sometimes. So that's what I need to feel fully satisfied. So I definitely don't want to reduce the carbs, but I want to maybe focus on getting a little more protein in, maybe at snacks, or just upping the protein a tiny bit where and when I can. I think that can only help, because protein is so amazingly good for us. So that's another thing I want to focus on in the coming probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because Thanksgiving is coming up. So, and I've already actually planned my whole meal plan for this week, so I'm not going to change a lot there. So over the next 2 or 3 weeks, this is kind of what I want to focus on a little more, and I'm going to have this list and have it in my planner where I can refer to it often, especially when I'm doing my next meal plan and what I feel like eating. So another thing I really need to work on is weighing and measuring everything, every little thing. Last night I did that, and I need to do that more often, because I am to the point where I kind of eyeball things and estimate, and I don't think I'm bad at that. I probably get things fairly close, and being on Lifetime, I have a little leeway and a little bit of give, but I'm trying to shed those few extra pounds, so I need to be more strict and be more precise. So I am going to start weighing and measuring everything, like I did last night, every little bit. The chicken, the spaghetti squash, the yogurt, the cheese. I measured everything except the vegetables. And then the last thing I'm kind of thinking about doing is something that's a little more controversial, that not everybody agrees with or wants to do, and I am totally fine with that. I'm not telling anybody on this channel that you should do what I do. I'm just saying, here's what I eat when I eat on Weight Watchers. So the last thing I want to do is, or think about doing, I'm not positive yet, I want to think about extending my intermittent fasting. So right now I fast until 3 p.m. and that's when I have my lunch. I want to see if I can start extending that lunchtime fast until 4 p.m. and just see how I feel, with the goal of eventually, perhaps, I don't know yet, I may drop down to 1 meal a day with some snacks. So this is in no means saying that I'm not doing Weight Watchers, because when I do intermittent fasting, I still do Weight Watchers and I still get all of my points in a day. So it's just eating within a specific time window. So I'm looking at maybe adjusting or experimenting a little bit with adjusting my eating and fasting window. And the first step for that will be extending my fast to 4 p.m. The reason I want to do that is because I kind of want to knock out, first of all, I want to knock out the snack between lunch and dinner. And then also, if I can go just a little bit further in the afternoon, it just makes me less hungry before dinner. Sometimes I'm very hungry before dinner. I have been having a snack before dinner, so it's not terrible, but I'd like to just move those 2 meals closer for right now and then kind of see where that takes me. So I am going to start doing that today, but you may see some shifts in the meals that I'm having, probably not until December, because with intermittent fasting, what I found is that it's best to just make your changes very, very gradually. I am so used to eating my lunch at 3 p.m. It doesn't really faze me. I don't get super hungry. I get hungry kind of off and on between noon and 3, and that's when I have my skinny tea. So you know, there's ways to help yourself make it through an intermittent fast, and then eventually your body adjusts. So my body is very much used to eating lunch at 3 o'clock, and I just want to see right now if I can push that to 4 o'clock. So these are some strategies that I have to, I feel like when I do something crazy like what I did last night with the English toffee, and it's not any worse than any of the other mindless night eating that I have done in the past. I wanted to reduce it. I'm still at about 1 night a week doing this stupid mindless night eating. It just so happens that what I chose to eat last night was astronomically high in points. English toffee is amazing, and this was English toffee from Disneyland, so it was extra amazing. But I just really need to, when I do something like that, I feel like I do better. Rather than focusing on the emotions and wallowing in my self-pity, my next right thing is to formulate the next plan. So if my current plan is not enough to light my fire and get me motivated and back on track, then I'm going to come up with a different plan that might take me in a different, better direction and just fine-tune a little more. I'm always looking to fine-tune everything. So I am still on track. I am still on plan with Weight Watchers. I'm still on fire, reaching for that 130-pound goal by Christmas. I wanted to hit 132 something by Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving is a week and a day away, but I weigh in Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So I would love to hit 132 something by next Tuesday. So that is my current short-term goal right now, and I'm just working towards that. Anyway, have a chiropractor appointment today, and then tonight is just one of those super long nights that never end. After work, I'll be running 2 miles and then getting as many steps in as I can before I have yoga at 8 o'clock. I'll need to shower at some point in between there and then go home and have dinner. So that is my super busy day. I am hoping to touch base with you guys about some Thanksgiving ideas later, but I don't want this video to be too extra long, so I haven't decided if I will put that in a separate video or if we'll just chit chat another little bit. I'm gonna cut it here because now I am 16 minutes in. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to go pull myself the rest of the way out of my pity party and go do some good for myself. I pulled this magnet off the fridge this morning because this is what I want to stare at all day long. Never, never, never give up. That's me. I am not giving up until I get to where I want to be. I am that determined. Okay guys, workout is over and here is my reward. I'm making a nice, fresh, hot cup of Cafe Verona. Thank you, Starbucks. This is the machine I was telling you about that makes the coffee from beans. It's so good. I wish you guys could smell this right now. Should be coming out right now. Yeah. Perfect. Hey everyone, it's now about 7:25 and I look a little crazy fresh out of the shower, but I want to tell you I'm having an awesome day. My mood is so much better than it was this morning, so that is good. And why? Because I did the next right thing, which is I evaluated, I accepted, and I moved on. So that's where I'm at right now. I also have to tell you that I did take a car nap at lunch. So I actually had enough time to zip to the chiropractor, had my appointment, and I took a 40-minute car nap. It's not because I needed the sleep, because I have been getting my usually about 7.5 hours of sleep every night. So I'm feeling so much better. You guys that are sleep deprived, I can't even tell you how much better you'll feel if you'll just take the extra effort to get the sleep that you need. I feel so much better with proper sleep. So it's not that I needed the sleep today, but I feel like I needed the rest, just to relax and give my mind and my body just time to have some downtime. So and I ended up falling asleep, so it felt great. So yeah, I'm having a much better day. I also wanted to tell you guys, just to clarify a little bit about why I was disappointed in myself. It's not because I can't have English toffee when I'm on Weight Watchers, because I can have anything I want. It's the amount that I had that I was disappointed in. I want to be able to control myself and allow myself to have these delicious things without going so far overboard. So that's what I was disappointed in. Not that I had the English toffee or the cookies, because I can have whatever I want. Remember the phrase I was using a couple weeks ago? You can have it all, just not all at once. So I could have been much better off with just a few pieces of English toffee. So there's that. But I'm feeling much better. I'm feeling much more renewed and alive and vibrant and on track and ready to just nail this again. I'm feeling, I was talking yesterday about my spatial body feeling. I feel like my stomach has gone down just the tiniest bit, and that is really making me feel good. So I know it's just a couple pounds, but I mean, when I was 138 a couple weeks ago and now I am 133, that's actually 5 pounds. So not quite 5 pounds, but almost 5 pounds is really good. So I am feeling much better. I did my 2-mile run after work at 7.5 miles an hour. So I'm really working hard to amp up my run, and one of the phrases that I repeat to myself in my mind when I'm trying to run fast is that you can't run fast unless you run fast. Meaning that you'll never learn to run fast until you push yourself to run fast. Your body's not going to just do it. You have to push it to run fast. So it's kind of a wacky little phrase, but that's what I tell myself when I'm trying to run fast. So you guys, I also fasted today until 5 p.m. with no problem whatsoever, no discomfort. I was not hungry. I was busy just doing my work. I had absolute clarity, mental focus, energy. I felt great. I can't believe I fasted until 5 o'clock with no problem whatsoever. None. So that makes me feel really positive about pushing my intermittent fasting window a little bit. I don't know that I want to do it every day, but I guess my main goal here is if I push it out till 5, not only will I get the benefits from intermittent fasting, but I can also cut out one snack. So the benefits, if you guys are not familiar with intermittent fasting, while you are fasting, once you get to about 16 hours of fasting, your body produces higher levels of HCG, growth hormone, which is a fat burning hormone. So who wouldn't want more fat burning hormone in their body when you're trying to lose fat? So I like to go, I love intermittent fasting for so many reasons. One of them is because it gives my body a better chance to burn fat. Number two, your body also increases amount of norepinephrine when you are fasting, which gives you increased energy. So I definitely experienced that today. I had increased energy, increased mental focus. So those are two very definite benefits. And then obviously one thing that I love about intermittent fasting is because since I like to enjoy the majority of my points, my calories and everything at the end of the day, the longer I can push out my eating, the more I get to eat and enjoy at the end of the day. So it just makes dinner that much better when I don't have to watch my points as much. So that's how I prefer to eat. I know a lot of you guys spread your points out throughout the day, or maybe some of you will have more points at breakfast or more at lunch. I've always enjoyed a larger or a more indulgent, I guess you could say, dinner. So that's where I prefer to spend my points. So those are some of the reasons that I love intermittent fasting. And I also love, this is a silly reason, but I love that, number one, I don't have to spend as much mental time deciding what to have for breakfast and lunch, and I don't have to spend the physical time to prep it. So there's much less food prep involved and much less meal planning. So that's why I like intermittent fasting. So I was very happy to be able to do that until 5 o'clock today with no discomfort. It was effortless. So that's cool. Anyway, I am headed to yoga and I am late and the gas light came on. So I think I have enough to make it to yoga, and then I'll just have to get gas after that. Anyway, I just wanted to touch base with you guys and let you know I'm feeling great. Yeah, I think that's all I had to say. So I'm gonna head to yoga and I'll check in with you guys and show you what I'm having for dinner. It's protein packed and delicious. I'm super excited for it, but it's also super fast because I'll be hungry by the time I get home. So I'll show you dinner when I get there. I also forgot to tell you how amazing that butternut squash soup was. I'm very happy about that because I kind of made it on the fly. I just wanted one serving, just one serving. I didn't want to make a huge batch and have tons left over that I have to deal with later and work into my meal plan and yada yada and have it in the freezer. I just wanted one batch. So I cooked half of a butternut squash, and then the gravy and the almond milk and the sage and it was so delicious, and it was really, really good with dipping those rye crackers in it. So it was very yummy. Okay, 9:45, and here's what I'm having for dinner, guys. So this is sort of eggs Benedict. I'm still trying to figure out my microwave egg poacher so I can get these eggs more runny. I think they were runnier, and then they sat for a minute with the lid on and finished cooking. So they'll still be soft cooked eggs, I hope. So anyway, on the bottom I have 2 slices of the Sara Lee 45 calorie delightful bread. They are 1 smart point each. So 2 smart points for bread. Then I have 1/4 cup of Kraft fat-free shredded cheddar for 0 smart points. And then on top of that, I have 3 ounces of Oscar Mayer Deli Fresh rotisserie seasoned chicken breast, and 3 ounces is 1 smart point. You can actually have up to 5 ounces for 1 smart point. And then on top of that, I have 2 eggs for 4 smart points. So my plate total is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 points total for my plate. Over here is the Hungry Girl scoopable apple pie that I did not have earlier today, so that is my dessert. And then here is my grapefruit Bellini with frozen grapes for 18 smart points. So I have 18 plus 6 plus the 1 point I had earlier today is 24, 25 smart points for my day.